Gauranga, Gauranga, Nityananda, Gauranga, 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 Nityananda, Gauranga. Okay, thank you for coming, everybody. Yes. Jesus, Paul, Srila Prabhupada. Jesus, Srila Prabhupada. Jesus, Paul, Srila Prabhupada. Jesus, Paul, Srila Prabhupada. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Shri Krishna Chaitanya Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Advaita Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Nityananda, Nityananda, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Ah, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna. If anybody wants to come on, you're welcome to. Here's the link. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, 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 Jesus, Paul, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Paul, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada, Jesus, Srila Prabhupada. Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Shri Krishna Chaitanya. Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda, Jaya Shri Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hey, Hare Krishna, back home. All right. Does it feel good to be back home? Yeah, yeah. All right, let's see here. Let's see, what do we read here? Yes, so read a little Bhagavad Gita here. This is Transcendental Knowledge, Chapter 4. Uh, text number Text number 2. This supreme science was thus received through a chain of disciplic succession, and saintly kings understood it in that way. But in the course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it appears, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. See, the science as it is appears to be lost. See? And you see, it only appears to be lost. It's not really lost. It's just lost to the people. That's just how this is. Just like what we're doing is it appears the science as it is, the science of what? How to love Krishna quickly. The science that Lord Caitanya brought here 550 years ago. See, that science. How to get this jewel quickly. The science as it is, appears to be lost. Okay? Just appeared to be lost, but not anymore. Okay? Not anymore. And that's why those who come through the disciplic line, and listen and hear from those, then it appears again. Okay? Otherwise, it just appears to be lost. It's not really. I mean, the Lord came here. It's all there. It's all in the book, even. Just waiting. It's kind of like that King Arthur analogy, There was a sword and a stone, and only the real king could pull that sword out of the stone. And all these other guys came, and they were illustrious, coming from big backgrounds and noble births and everything. Isn't it funny? It's always the underdog. It's always the nobody that comes and picks the stone. It's always the carpenter or less. Yeah, even the disciples. There's the Lord uses the carpenter for the highest truths, right? And then he uses the fishermen, the lowest persons, the smelly people, around fish, you know, to teach it, to keep it going. Why is it always like this? And then the ones who make it appear to be lost are the ones who can't transmit the science. They can't do the job. They can't pull the sword out of the stone. See, and they're always befuddled. Like today, I have to deal with people that are befuddled by the external. Say, look, okay, what are you doing? Do you have a girlfriend? Is that's not a spiritual master doesn't have girlfriends. You can't have a girlfriend, you can't have a boyfriend. My disciples can do whatever they want, but the guru, no, he can't do it. No, yeah, you know, uh, you know. So and so and so people end up going, no, I'll go to this renounced person over here, but you don't get what you get here. Here the Lord is the science as it is appeared to be lost, but now it's found again. Nobody cares about that science. The science is loving Krishna, man, and people are doing it here. You think people would be thinking they're worried about. See, this is where the science appeared to be lost because they taught a science as the true science that wasn't it. They taught the wrong standard. And the externals. And not worried about. You're not concerned about ecstatic devotion. Just like if you 550 years ago, if you went to Nityananda or his associates, they're just ecstatic. Not mindful of what rule they followed or not. But to be around them, what spiritual Ras is. You know what loving God is just by seeing them, even though you may not understand it, because you practically never saw it before. See? And so here, the ones who don't make it are the ones they use the standard that they learned that wasn't the standard, that didn't even work. And the Krishna conscious movement didn't even work. I don't care what anybody says. What works, this is a science. Science means you've done something that has a scientific result. You repeat the experiment and you get the same result. And that's why we repeat this experiment over and over again. And more people that come here and follow the science. What is the science? We tell you, you don't think this is Fauci here that just follow the science, or don't think this is one of these ISKCON gurus here, say follow their science. That doesn't work. No, follow this science and see it work. For God's sake, man, what is the science? Well, you find a devotee that actually loves God and has the symptoms of loving God, and they're empowered to transmit this to others, to awaken it in others. Follow that science. Now, aren't scientists supposed to be intelligent? Well, you come here, well, you'll get that intelligence here. Otherwise, you're following standards that never worked anyway. I didn't see one person in the Narayan Raj group that got love of Krishna, even though they're saying these standards are all their talk about Radhe Radhe and all their rules and regulations and following. I didn't see one example of so many here already. Juiced up devotees who love to hear and chant about Krishna. Oh, not even the low things, the high things with tears in their eyes and choking and laughing when they chant Maha Mantra even. Didn't see any of that. But they want to use that standard here, even though it didn't work. I was telling one devotee today, What is this? He says, well, you're doing rasa basa, man. You got a girlfriend, and a spiritual master can't have a girlfriend or married, or you got to be, and that's rasa basa. I said, no, the gopis, they had their husbands and wives, and they had a relationship with Krishna. I don't mix that stuff. A girlfriend or a wife or a husband is a wife and a husband, and love of Krishna is love of Krishna. We don't mix that stuff here. So don't worry about me, Rasa. But I'm not saying, "Whoa, the beautiful." This is Radhe. I could show you many examples of that. Even in the Narayan Raj group, there's some of them coming out like that now. Oh yes, the sex and all of this. Even I had one in here that wants to really promote that. I would say, no, it ain't that, man. I don't promote that. No, it's like it is in Vrindavan. You can be married and you can still love Krishna, but you ain't gonna say, "Oh, this sensual thing that we feel in sex and everything. Oh, that's love of Krishna." No, no way. See, this is real here, man. And you don't like it? Go and follow those guys. Go follow those renunciates out there. Yeah, go the dry ones. Go dry out over there for a while. Yeah, what that stuff I put up with here sometimes. Yeah. Today was a breakneck day, man. I had a lot of shit that I had to deal with. It's garbage from people, just garbage. Yeah. See, this science. Yeah, go ahead there, Lolita.
Did you delete your video of this morning?
Yeah, I deleted it. I just,
I couldn't
there's too
watch
much.
it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
just, too much drama going on there. All these people coming on and disturbing and all that. Better people don't watch. It's one of those days. But that you see is when people get on there, that we blocked them before because they were so like outrageous, and making wild accusations and crazy. I mean, just disheartening things. They put a picture of me in a jail cell. What is this? This is
They
crazy.
sent it to me as well, yeah.
Just kind of crazy shit, man. What do we need? Who? What? This is the contamination people have. You know. This is very simple here. I think it's simple, very honest. I ain't anything special other than we have this jewel and this gift. You don't have to be anything special. The Lord likes to work through people. I mean, all Vrindavan Leela is all about that. The gopis praise the flute. Look at this flute. It's just an ordinary stick, but Krishna uses it. He has a relationship with that stick. It's full of knots and it's not perfect. It's not symmetrical or anything. But he likes that stick. That stick likes him. That's it. That's here. You want some mirage? Well, go follow one of these big dry sannyasis. And yeah, go through all that rules and regulations that they teach you to do. And you may get one of them that's not even following them. There's so many like that. Lots of really, and all that, but they ain't gonna follow. It's called hypocrisy. It's not much different. You go to Newsom and he says, "Oh, put your mask on and everything," and he goes and has a nice dinner at a very expensive restaurant on your dime, on the taxpayers thing. They all do it, and they do it in religion. That's why Christians abandon. I abandon religion. I don't need it, man. I don't need that shit. I don't need hypocrisies. Man, what keeps me happy and protect, you can all leave if you want. I got Krishna, man. I got what I came here in this world to do. And if anybody wants, you can also, come hang out. I've got the authority. The Lord gave me the authority himself. Prabhupada, all of them. It works here. People get an ecstatic devotion. You don't like it, go somewhere else. That's it to me. You don't appreciate it. See, this science can be taught like the next verse here, basically. Oops, where is it? That science of the relationship between with the Supreme, relationship with the Supreme is today told by me to you, because you are my devotee as well as my friend. You know, some people, they come here challenging, but and they don't, and then they say weird things, and they don't even apologize for it. That person won't last, and I don't care. I don't. Hey, man, you say all these things, and I try to give you explanations, and they don't even apologize for their for the horrible things that they say. You know, um, so you probably won't last, and because this, well, you see, this is the supreme science of our soul's relationship with the Lord. Is passed on a disciplic line. You either have affection for the teacher or not. It's not like you're entitled. I have people, they feel they're entitled, and then they want to teach me how to do it. you know they're entitled to get it, and they also want to teach me how to do it, and they can say and do whatever they want, about this, and they're entitled to get this. Well, no, this is the mood. This is a great gift, and it comes to those who develop a relationship and a friendship and an appreciation and a respect for for what's being given. So watch out for the standard you use, because that's a contamination. That's why they don't get it. When people try to apply the standard of, well, you got to be perfect, or you got to be perfect, you got to be renounced, you got to be this, you got to be that. You got to set the example of those who can't transmit or even manifest ecstatic devotion. You got to be that standard, but it doesn't work. See? So what does work? Just the real truth, the truth that Lord Caitanya brought, that's in these verses, work. So, for example, Lord Chaitanya's associates, they descended when the Lord descended as ordinary persons, disguised as ordinary persons, but they were marked with one mark. They had this natural love for Lord Chaitanya. See? You couldn't figure out. Some were beggars, some were ruffians, some were just retards. It didn't matter. They just had this natural love for either Lord Chaitanya or Nityananda and the devotees. And those are the ones who will come here too, you'll see. Sri Advaita was a householder and a great husband. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So anyway, that's it. Basically those, if you come here and somehow or other you develop affection and respect for this preaching, then you can get it. you know but if you're challenging, and you think you know it all and all that stuff, you got to empty it out, and you might have to unlearn all that stuff you learned in ISKCON or all these groups, because you're using that as a standard. But look, it thwarts you every time. It thwarts all of them. That's why you see, out of those millions of devotees, how many can come here? Because they think they know it all. They think they know the standard. They don't get love of God. They don't get it following those standards or that path. And they want to come over and say, well, you got to follow the standard that doesn't work. And that's what they did when the disappearance of Lord Chaitanya. Bhakti Siddhanta commented on that. He said after Lord Chaitanya disappeared, these renunciates that are in all over the place in ISKCON and Gaudiya Math and Simi, they all came into the disciplic line. They already had Krishna, like we already have Krishna and Radha and Lord Chaitanya. We already got him. Then it all became a path of trying to attain the Lord. See, because they didn't have the Lord. They thought they knew it all. They came in and polluted the disciplic line. And so people come here and they're in that mentality. They want to put this back into an attainment thing. Attaining the Lord again. We already got him, man. Yeah. He walked into Maria's life. That's the way it is it's meant to be. The Lord walks into your life when you meet his devotees. That's what Lord Chaitanya taught. And if you're not a devotee, you're teaching something else. You're a non-devotee teaching like yogic austerities and all this renunciations and strict sadhanas, and you got to be a superstar Vaishnava to attain Krishna. That's the wrong path still. That's a pollution and contamination. And people come here. I'm just telling people that are coming like that, that's your obstacle now. Look at the mood it makes you. You want to challenge the person. You call the guru here, these weird names and accusations and all kinds of stuff, and that's what they do out there. That's a contamination, man. In other words, they are against the Lord. So if that's the misconceptions you have to abandon. You got to start over again. Even Lord Chaitanya told people to start over. A lot of times, he said you got to start your devotional service over because you don't know. You think you know. See? So anyway, that's the whole thing, and we can, you know, all I can do is advise. If you bring your ISKCON mentality here and not willing to kind of let it go, if you want to use that as a standard, then you should just go and to those people over there, those Vaishnavas over there. Those they're trying to attain that. We already got that here. We're here to give it now as a gift. Didn't I read that this morning? The gift the Lord Chaitanya came to give. If you're a real associate of the Lord and you get the order like Nityananda and Advaita and myself also, then you have the power and the authority to give this out here. That's all you need to know, not some artificial standards. That's thwarts a lot of people here. If you got to you got to admit it didn't work, whatever you did, and it's time to relearn. Okay. See, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has freely given this love of Krishna everywhere and anywhere. See? And you can see how people react. See, he was freely giving it in the Navadvip when he started sharing it, right? What did they do? The first reaction from the student community, what did they do? They wanted to kill him. They wanted to take sticks and beat him. See, freely giving it. That's the cost. You got to put up with the bullshit sometimes. That's the cost that we're doing. We're not above Lord Chaitanya. That's why I'm not going to stop doing this. I'm going to keep preaching these things, and maybe somebody will be convinced to give up that mentality. We're freely giving this, and that's part of the purification. Is you have to, those who abandon their misconceptions and their ideas and realize they don't know. Those who have this love of Krishna, chapter 23, not even of Madhya Lila, of Chaitanya Charitamrita. Not even the greatest scholars can understand their mind, their mentality, their plans, their emotions. So if you think you can and you can discern these things, well, the verse even says no, you can't. So anyway, if anybody is convinced that okay, I tried these other ways, I'm still a dry person, and you guys are wet, man. You, you know, and we're wet with this bhakti, and we're sharing with people, you know, indiscriminately. I don't care. A big sannyasi can come here. Bill Gates can come here. Big demon can come here. I don't care. If anybody comes here, my Lord is saying, hey, they're coming there. That's so fantastic. Just like Jesus. It's the same thing. Jesus said, I'll go to, Matthew, the tax collector, the most hated person in the whole village. They hated this guy. You come over and demand tax, and nobody loves tax collectors. They're mean often. Well, I don't know if they are or not, but back then they were. And Jesus said, well, he wants me to come, man. I'll go. We'll break bread together, man. He had affection for Jesus. That's all. Dealings in affection are millions of times greater than dealings in awe and reverence. And that's what people are in the awe and reverent thing with Krishna. And then they see affectionate devotees, and then they misunderstand everything. Yeah, yeah. So Arjuna said, the sun god. Okay, I'm going to skip a couple of verses here. Uh, so I like this one. The personality of Godhead said, many births both you and I have passed. I can remember all of them, but you cannot, O subduer the enemy. See? And that's how it is for most people and many of us. When we're in the most significant thing in our lifetime is the Lord is remembering, right? He knows what's going on. He's watching what's going on. But when we become aware of that Lord, that is amazing. That's when the fireworks go off, man. See, the Lord, oh yeah, many births, but you're not aware of that. You're not aware of me being with you for many births. For most people, if you're a devotee, it's different. Then you're relating to the Lord, and the Lord comes in this birth. You see how it was with Lord Caitanya and the residents of Vrindavan, is or any place when the Lord comes, even though they may not, it's like a new meeting. Oh, who are you? But you just feel attracted. The same thing with the devotees. That's why they're people. They'll just come. Oh wow, this is so great to be here. It feels familiar. Like Maria was saying, God, this is just so familiar. She's reading the book. I noticed that when I first started reading, she just like, wow, this is like, I really like this. I really feel this is really cool. This is, it's like natural. See? And so that's how it is. So this is open to anybody. I'll help these dry speculators, these people that are in these groups too, if you want. But you have to kind of understand what's going on here. Don't try to bring your contamination here and make that the standard, because it's not going to fly. I'm not going to allow that in here. Krishna's not going to allow it. That'll pollute what we're doing. It'll be just like what happened back then. See, the devotees were more shy than me. They really were. They were just loving Krishna, very gentle, and all of this. The Lord was there and everything. And these big tough sannyasis come in and they want to take over. It's like the government's doing that. They're doing it with this crypto thing. They come right in now and they want to take over everything. Anything they do, they did it with Prabhupada. They wanted to do it with Prabhupada, and later on they did it with Prabhupada after he goes. That's what Maya does. She comes in and takes over. See, Prabhupada, they said, they've never wanted to help Prabhupada. I only say this, not just so you can take a lesson from history. Don't misunderstand. Don't think this is like we're just, like ranting for no reason. This is teaching. This is Bhagavatam, practical. This happens over and over again. And if you catch it, you understand it. It won't bite you and not bite us in the ass. Coming in the back door, the sinister force. That's it. It's the way Maya works. She worms her way in. Yeah. So anyway, they never wanted to help Prabhupada, the God Brothers, because they're this that level. Rules, regulations, dry, and they just name and fame and the high seats. They want to be adored and worshipped. That's going on in there. So Prabhupada, the Lord empowers him. He said, this is an honest person here. And the Lord gave him a mercy, because he's a natural devotee. He's one of these natural devotees. He always was a devotee. He didn't have to go through a big course in anything to become a devotee. After a few days, he was up to speed with Bhakti Siddhanta. See? And so anyway, God Brothers never helped until Prabhupada became successful. Oh, and then all of a sudden they want to come in. See, Maya always does the same routine. Oh, yeah, we want to help you, God, now. Oh, yeah, we really want to help you. And they did the same thing with Jesus. If Jesus was getting popular, they said, oh, we just want to help him. Tell us where he is, Judas. We just want to help him. See, they want to bring their energy in and take it over. That's what Maya does. See, they don't want to, they're not interested in becoming a devotee and a friend because that's the only way you're going to get this. If you don't become a devotee and a friend of a bona fide spiritual master to come to deliver you, you'll probably miss the boat. You'll be bewildered by maybe wanting to be equal with God and Guru. Man, a lot of people are like that. Yeah. So they wanted out. And what did Prabhupada say? He said, no, they just want to come in and take over. He said, no, they stay out there and we have our books and we have our preaching. Okay. So anybody, yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Prabhupada was the one that I saw yesterday, right?
With the bald head, you said?
See,
Probably.
see, see.
Sounds like it. Yeah.
With a
Yeah.
darker skin, but not dark,
Yeah,
but
darker skin. That's it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's the
Yeah.
one. Okay, he appeared yesterday in our chanting. So one more we have.
That's not
So he's,
surprising because you notice we've been introducing him.
yeah,
I've been introduced. I've been saying Jesus, Paul, and Prabhupada
all
in the
right, right,
last few
right.
days. Yeah, see, I've been saying Jesus, and so it's natural we
So he
invited him.
comes, yeah, yeah, amazing. But then Mary Sachi was the one that showed me
Showed
these
the picture.
little, yeah, and
Yeah,
then
yeah. I
he
didn't
does,
put it together. And then so she sent the picture. Then yeah, of
wow,
course. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
of course. So
Yeah. See,
now
she didn't
he's,
know. She didn't even. She Prabhupada. She couldn't even pronounce the name.
I couldn't
Prabhupada.
pronounce it, but then I had a little bit of help from Mary Sachi.
Yeah,
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada,
yeah,
Prabhupada. Was finished with a D, right? Prabhupada, right?
yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Today he has been like he took over my brain. He couldn't stop saying Prabhupada, Prabhupada. It's like, come on, stop, stop now. I need Lord Caitanya. He
yeah.
kept on Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. It's like, what? I don't I don't know what is wrong with him, but he was very very insistent today. But that's until I guess until he's part of the clan, everyone that is here,
I guess.
right?
Yeah, yeah. He's the one. Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because of Prabhupada, we have all this stuff here.
Okay.
And
Well, he
we
was.
have a,
Yeah.
yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
immediately attracted to his books because they're so beautiful. It's see the devotees they bring us the Lord, and that's exactly even the books. And if you're a devotee, you can feel it. That's
Amazing.
what. Yeah, yeah. That's how the Lord remains here. He remains here through the mercy of his devotees.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Amazing.
yeah,
So now we have one more. We were five. Now there's
yeah.
six.
Six.
So we
Oh
have the.
boy.
Yeah. I'm assuming he's not going anywhere because he was extremely into Prabhupada, Prabhupada. He repeated, and I was Lord Chaitanya because I was walking, and when I walk, I chant Lord Chaitanya. I don't chant anyone else. And he was
Yeah.
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. I was like, what are you doing? You're interrupting my brain.
Oh.
I know. Maybe because he wanted me to pronounce it many times. I don't know. Maybe. I don't think he's going to go anywhere. He's going to stay.
Yeah, yeah. Good. Yeah,
See,
that's
Larita,
good.
I'm so glad you're back.
Yeah. Yes.
Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada. Okay, I'm
We get a
gonna.
nice family here, a nice devotional family. It's really nice.
Yes, he's yeah, different the
Yeah.
energy
Yeah.
that he has, but it's yeah, Prabhupada. Okay, good.
Hmm. All
Okay, I'm
right.
gonna
So,
mute.
okay. Yeah. So anyway, many births you and I have passed. I can remember that all of them, but you cannot. Oh, subdue the enemy. See. So that in this birth is so great because when we remember the Lord and actually feel His presence again, awaken, it's a revolution in our lives. It's great. It's really wonderful. Yeah. Um, So, whenever and wherever, okay, although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Whenever and wherever there is a decline in religious practice, O descendant of Bart, and a predominant rise of irreligion, at that time I descend myself. So, Lalita, continue reading a little bit there.
Okay. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you so much. To deliver the pious and to annihilate the miscreants as well as to re-establish the principles of religion. I myself, I appear millennium after millennium. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and if activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world.
Now you see, this is. Do you see why the people, if you only do Vaidhi, still you don't know the transcendental nature of the Lord and His activities. Do you see the difference between that teaching and this? Do you see how we're knowing the transcendental nature of the Lord, learning about that transcendental nature of the Lord and activities and why He actually comes here, and on deeper levels and just there's the pious people here and the miscreants over here. What about those who are not so pious and are the mixtures of the some piety and some miscreants inside, and getting that stuff out, so that the Lord can come in and live with us. So this is a sangha where you can finish the work, where you can actually understand the transcendental nature of Krishna and his activities by personal taste. You got to taste these activities, man. You got to taste this nectar. You got to know this the importance of devotion, awakening in the heart, spontaneous love. That's part of these activities of the Lord that He sports with His devotees. You know, being a non-devotee without the awakening of these devotees, you still don't know the transcendental nature. See, that's what, remember, Lord Caitanya meets the Tattavadis and he says, all you got is, to your merit, is you believe in the name of God, the name of Krishna. See, but you don't know that name. You need bhakti to know that name. See, and you got to get it through a devotee like him who has devotion. See, now if those persons were if they went, what do you just teach us? Like we have people here that are contaminated. That's a contamination, guys. If that standard that you think you're so great because you do austerities and you're like a tattavadi. See, you can't receive from the devotees in that mood. And they go, oh well, why should I be thinking? No, we're following the right path, and we like our dry worship, and well, of course they don't think it's dry, right? It would be dry to us. It was dry to Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah.
It's like eating dry bread without butter on it. It's like, now how would they know unless somebody preached to them? How would anybody come? No, you come here with your dryness and you want to instruct the guru and tell him how he's got to be more renounced, or set some high sannyasi standards and all that stuff. See that, and all you know is still the name is still dry. You don't know. You got to learn from the actual devotees that manifest devotion. See, and that's the what do you call, the signpost? Oh, that's where to go, man. That's where I'm going to learn about the transcendental nature of the Lord from those who know the transcendental nature of the Lord. How can you learn about the transcendental nature of the Lord from somebody that doesn't know that transcendental nature? That's why I say, with these other these groups like ISKCON and Gaudiya Smiti and Gaudiya Math, they don't really know it. They talk about it and all that, but you got to know it. It has to be manifesting in your body. That holiness, that wholeness. We're not whole without this devotion. Otherwise we have no relationship to the spiritual form of the Lord. We have only relation. We have love for the world. That's why so many people become hypocrites, really, in religion. They can't help it because they can't grasp that transcendental nature, because you can't do it through speculations. It's not enough. All you can do is you start changing the Bible. You start changing the words of these acharyas in the books to fit your
Yeah.
program here, your material motivated program. See here. So what do we do here? We show you the transcendental nature, Lord, and then glorify that and teach about it and how you can get it easily. And just because the path is described really clearly in a book, very simple. Just receive the gift, man. Really, if intelligence is you can analyze things properly, and I have to help people because people there's so much maya in their minds. You need some help. You need to learn how to think. You know, devotees here who have that transcendental nature manifesting in them. They're the only ones who can help you understand that transcendental nature and the path to it. The book knows because it was written by a devotee who had the transcendental nature, manifested and understood it. But if you don't got it and you're trying to figure it out in the book, all you can do is speculate. No, you need the living devotee who takes that book and describes and proves all their points, proves their ecstasy, proves their understanding, takes the book. And then those who listen, that word goes in some and awakens as devotion and bhakti. And then you can also see, you get those eyes of devotion. Okay? Now you understand personally the transcendental nature, and you teach how others can learn too. Nobody else can be. Can you imagine? People come here. This is no material cult here. You come here and you get the tools to be able to deliver people here, to be a real guru. I mean, the words of Lord Caitanya come true here. Become guru and deliver the world. He came to make acharyas and many gurus, and that stopped. That as it is science appeared to be lost until now in our preaching. Previously, you thought only Prabhupada could do it forever. Only Narayan Raj could be the acharya. And then you all still try to do it anyway, but you can't take the title because you can't do it. You don't have the authority to do it. That's why after Narayan Raj, he had the kahunas to take the title, and he still couldn't do the job. No, I mean finish the work. He was a Raganuga Sangha, they said, but nobody got the Raganuga. No Raga, as far as I can see. See, and then afterwards they won't take there's no divine grace there after him. A little, well, maybe now they're starting, but they sure take the same disciples and have them worship them like deliverers and their saviors. See, that's idol worship, isn't it?
Yeah.
Idolatry. It's so simple. Those who know the transcendental nature of the Lord are delivered. You don't take another birth. Here, God, man, how clear we make it. What is the transcendental nature of the Lord? How clear we show it, and how clear it's confirmed in the scriptures. How clear it's confirmed in the transmission. You have to be a really slow learner not to get this.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you gotta, if you want to make it here, anybody coming from this ISKCON and Gaudiya Smriti background, you gotta realize you didn't get it. You didn't make it there. But people are making it here. You have to start again. That is not the right standard. It's the standard I tell you in the book. Yes, it is correct. Those who awaken devotion to Krishna are certainly the spiritual master. Boss! No, nothing else. No, yeah, those who awaken devotion to Krishna, but they got to be a renunciate, but they got to do this. Otherwise, I won't do it. I won't believe in them. No buts. No, they got to, eat this or don't eat that. No. Lord Caitanya said the standard, as it is, those who awaken devotion to Krishna are certainly the spiritual master. That's it. He didn't say anything else.
Mhm.
And if you see that quality, there it is. As soon as you try and add something or subtract something from that, you lost the path. Am I saying as it is?
Yeah.
Or is it the subtraction and adding? Well, I can believe in you, Gohari, if you were perfect in all ways. Well, where did Lord Chaitanya say, yes, it's correct. If you awaken devotion to Krishna and others, you're certainly spiritual master, and F and F and F and buts and all that. We're nowhere to be seen. None of it. It's all like that. The Lord either empowers somebody, and they might naturally be a sannyasi, naturally a Brahmin, and their habit is to be a Brahmin and sannyasi. They like it. They like it. And a person is a Sudra. They like I like being a Sudra. I do.
The importance.
But better to be yourself. And if you got God, he doesn't leave. Look at Maria. He stays with her regardless. She ain't perfect. I see her every day. She ain't no perfect person.
She's an ordinary
The
person.
Lord's thinking, hey, this is my friend. Lolita also. I know I heard stories. She's no perfect. She's not Miss Perfect. But the Lord likes me with her. Radha and Krishna love her. See? Now, isn't it nice to have a God like that? Otherwise, you're trying. You can't even fit these people. They try to make you fit the standard that they can't even fit.
No, it's impossible.
And
You
they
know?
love her a lot, Lalita. I
Yeah.
am a witness of that.
Oh, yeah, good.
Yeah, a lot. And thanks to her, I met Adwaita. I couldn't even pronounce his name until Lalita showed me how to pronounce it. Like Mary Sachi showed me how to pronounce Prabhat. Prabhat.
Prabhupada.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Prab,
yeah.
okay, Prabhupada.
Prabhupada. There you go.
And
You get
yeah, Prabhupada. And then Adwaita didn't even knew he existed, and but he came because we were doing healing with Jesus and with Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda because the group to Lord
we're gonna have a
Chaitanya.
whole crowd coming now. I'll introduce a
I'm
few more.
having,
We'll
but I
introduce a
mean,
few.
amazing. I think if you keep on chanting new people, they're gonna come.
Yeah,
It's becoming
yeah,
amazing, right?
yes. Yeah, we got to
It's
set
good.
a few standards here for some of these new people because they come in, they bring in a load of crap.
But
You
well, you don't have to get engaged with that. I mean, people can do whatever they want. They don't want to believe, they don't believe, whatever. You have
know?
the right people next to you, right?
Yeah, yeah, it
Yeah,
works. It works. Don't
yeah.
worry. Krishna protects everything. I mean, excuse me,
Exactly.
Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya.
Lord Chaitanya, Lord Chaitanya.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sorry,
It's Lord Chaitanya.
Lord
Yes, yes,
Chaitanya.
yes. Lord
Absolutely.
Chaitanya and Jesus Christ. Very, very important. Never forget him.
Yeah. Tarun
Sisi,
said,
and
"Holy name cleans the mind, but not for them who pile on loads of rules and holds the non-essential fluff." Yeah, it just. I mean, the problem is you can become offensive because you become like a fault finder. Oh, they don't do this, and anyway. So anyway, we'll get through it. Go ahead, read on, Lalita.
Yeah. Okay. So, one who knows the transcendental, the transcendental nature of my of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again It is,
You gotta taste the happiness of that, of his transcendental nature. It's so wonderful, man. You gotta taste it. You know,
yeah.
taste his name, these sayings, man. They're like, like a the cognac. You could see in Lolita. He's like, oh, relishing this. This is the nature of the Lord. It's so beautiful, so amazing.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But it tastes my eternal abode.
Say that again. I missed it because you're laughing so much.
I'm sorry. But he he attains my eternal abode. Oh, Arjuna.
Eternal abode. You know why? Why? This reasonable God. It's true. Eternal abode. Why do we attain it? Because we're connected to the eternal now. Everybody's connected to the material. We're connected to the material. They love the world. I love my wife. I love my dog. I love my goldfish. And that's all the love I get. Luna excluded. That's a whole different love. Luna's transcendental.
That is Mananda dog.
Extraordinary. That dog is extraordinary.
She's extraordinary, and she needs the attention all the time. She knows
Oh,
I'm speaking with you, and
I
she's
know.
been a brat, you know.
No, I know. The
I'm
jealous.
sorry, but yeah, jealous little shit. But she's transcendental. Yes.
Yes, of
See,
course.
see, see, see. Of course, of course.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Lily, to read on.
Yeah, my text was suddenly gone. It's because of that dog. uh, uh, um, I'm sorry. Here, be freed from attachment, fear and anger. Be fully absorbed in me. And taking refuge in me. Many persons in the past they became purified.
I love that verse. Go ahead, read that again. I want to
I'm
sniff
sorry.
that
Be freed from attachment. Be freed from attachment, fear, and anger.
one. Attachment to the world. You're free.
Freed
And
from it.
there and
Peace.
there's a yeah, and the way that shows up, how to get free is coming up. Go ahead, continue.
By being freed from it. Yeah.
By being freed, yes.
By being being fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me.
Fully absorbed, taking refuge. Fully absorbed happens naturally. You're around devotees who are absorbed in that transcendental nature, Lord. That's how you get absorbed. You got to see the role. You need to see a role model. You need to see how that's done, and you start to become attracted, and you become absorbed like that. And then by being in that transcendental nature and relishing it, tasting it, see, then the world doesn't have this, this. It's like super glue for the souls. They can't leave it. You die, and they're just back. But here, being absorbed in the Lord's amazing path, isn't it? The Lord's showing us His transcendental nature. We relish that, taste it. Just stay absorbed in that. You don't have to be a fanatic. You can have your life regularly, right? Well, that's an amazing thing. I'm not old. I'm just a sudra. I can't do it all the time. But as soon as I bring my mind back, the Lord He's faithful. If we're faithful, He's faithful. He comes back, right? You just start thinking of the Lord, and He's there. This is a relationship. This is forever, man. You
He's
know,
always there. He never goes away.
Never goes.
regardless.
He's just waiting
He
for us
never
to
goes away.
remember him. That's the secret. The Lord is
Yeah,
always there.
but he's always there, you see.
Yeah, he's always
Very
there.
much so. Always there. Amazing.
Sometimes you need a little break. I need a little break. It's so intense,
Yeah.
this
Well, you
exercise.
need it to live a life. This is why we are in here on Earth, right? We need the right balance.
Yeah,
Otherwise, we wouldn't be in human form.
yeah,
But other than that, it's pretty amazing. But we
yeah,
need the balance. We need to be balanced, heaven
absolutely.
and earth, right? Yeah,
Right,
that's part of being human. Yeah.
right. Go ahead, Lalita, read on.
Yeah. Um, See, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge of me. And thus they all attained transcendental love for me.
Yeah, you see, knowledge, first comes knowledge. This is what you get from a guru. Transcendental knowledge. See, and it shows you the direction, all that matures into devotion.
Yeah,
See, love for the Lord, because it's extraordinary. That knowledge is beautiful, and when you're around devotees, you speed up the process. Otherwise, it's some more lifetimes. You got to get see. Then you get see knowledge actually is complete. Real knowledge means knowing the Lord. So you got to know the Lord, but then you got to have experience of the Lord, His transcendental nature. Now that's really knowing Him. See, that means devotion. There is real knowing. That's Radharani's devotion. She knows the Lord because of bhakti. Oh, Tom, didn't see you there. Welcome. Yeah. Go ahead, Lalita.
as all surrender unto me, I reward them accordingly. Everyone follows my path. In all respect, O son of Rita, men in this world, they desire success in fruitive activities, and therefore they worship the demigods. Quickly, of course, men get results from fruitive work in this world, according to the three modes of material nature and the work associated with them. The four divisions of human society are created by me, and although I am the creator of this system, you should know that I am yet the non doer, being unchangeable. There is no work that affects me.
That's a very deep thing. There's no work that affects the Lord, and there's no work that affects the devotees who take deep shelter of the Lord. See that people need to understand. And until you're in the transcendental nature, of the Lord, when you can chant the holy name in great ecstatic love, you've reached that stage of being absorbed in the transcendental nature of the Lord, and there's no work that affects you, even though you may be in the world and you may get contaminated or seemingly contaminated by being involved in the work of the world, whatever it is. You might be in business and you might have to cheat a little bit. Some businessmen cheat. You cannot be perfectly honest. You might cheat on a tax thing or something. So, no, that would affect somebody who is not absorbed in the transcendental nature of the Lord. But all these indiscrepancies are rectified in that because you're purified because of the transcendental nature, your absorption in the Lord's nature. This is the secret here, and this is why the Lord is trying to get people to come to the spontaneous devotees, teaching this extraordinary path where the work of the world, of being in this world, doesn't affect you. The fruit of stuff, you become more and more detached from that, even though you might be doing it. You might be involved in a business or this or that. but because you can like a ducking swan, Prabhupada called it. You can duck into this bliss and this ecstasy. You're purified by the transcendental nature. It's a dissolver. This dissolves all whatever contaminations you got. It's like taking a bath, but it's spiritual bath. You know? And so if you're just a dry Vaidhi Bhakti, you're not able to get that kind of purification.
Yeah.
See, you're not in the transcendental nature of the Lord. You're in the material rules and regulations. There's something there, but it's hard work, and the result is minuscule. This is powerful. This is why the Lord came here to give it. That's why we're here to preach this path. I have no interest in doing what Prabhupada did to teach that path. Not while this is here. Not while this is available. This everybody can take to this path. Why not? This is the best path, man, where you can dissolve sins by just relishing the transcendental nature, the holy name of Krishna. It's very practical. It frees you from even do hard sadhanas, difficult practices. You know, just by coming to the point of chanting in ecstasy. It's like winning the lottery in spiritual lottery. And the only real possibility to come to that stage, really, I mean, practically, is by being around devotees who chant the holy name in ecstasy. This is the fastest way. It's the most logical way. It's the most clear path. Otherwise, 50 years, you can go look at people 50 years, gurus, 50 years, they still dryly chant the name after 50 years, even being initiated with Prabhupada. Why? Because they were not at the ecstatic stage. They didn't make it. And now that this is available, they're unwilling to come still. But those who come can their devotion increases more and more and more. The heart starts to get, make some room for the transcendental Lord to get in there, so you can commune. See, many people have transcended this illusion that way. See? But this is the high speed process. Come around ecstatic devotees. Look how many are coming now. Look, they actually coming. They're more or less ecstatic from the beginning. Even this is very attractive. Just like 500 years ago, when the Lord manifested this bhakti, he laughed and cried and everything publicly. What happened? The devotees started to come from different parts of the countries. Isn't that what we're doing now? Saying, they're manifesting ecstatic love. A lot of people are still against it, right? But not everybody. Those who were looking for this, they're of that nature. They bring it in from their previous life. Like, again, Maria, she naturally, like Lily, they just come, she's happy with their association. They're happy to be in her company. It's mutual. It's the same thing here. Are you happy to be in the company of these devotees? The only reason you wouldn't be is you're a fault finder, because you're using the wrong standard, like the standard you learned in these groups. They didn't attain the desired result, so they're not experts. We've attained the desired result of love of Krishna. Therefore, the expertise is here. Right? Again, Bhagavad Gita 10:10. To those who worship Krishna with loving ecstasy, I give them the real understanding. I give them the real knowledge. See? Again, always the same thing. They're the experts. They're the scientists. Go ahead, Lalita.
Mhm. So there is no work that affects me, nor do I aspire for the fruits of action. One who
Yeah, and that's
understands.
another. See, the fruits of that's when you, well, in a sense, that's not exactly true. See, the fruits of this kind of action is to taste the Lord more. You become eager. So the fruits of the action of chanting and hearing and all this, to relish this deeper communion, is there for a devotee when you're at the ecstatic stage. You want more of that. See, and so you can't see, our nature has to be transformed, not denied.
Yeah.
See, so in people that are very eager for, I like fruitive activity. You see, that's a contamination. You become a fruitive worker, and then you have to come back here. You're forced to take birth here again. See? See? But now you become very eager to hear and chant and to remember Krishna and to taste that nectar. See, that is transformed desire into the right desire, the perfect desire. Lord Chaitanya came to his guru. He saw a guru who was doing what we're doing, chanting in ecstasy, Ishvar Puri. Yeah. And Lord Chaitanya says, "Oh, I want to take initiation from you because I want to chant like you. I'm not interested in the world. I want to taste this nectar of chanting that you taste." See, so he didn't. It wasn't like his desire was transformed. Yeah. Go ahead, Lalita.
So, one who understands this truth about me also does not become entangled into fruitive reactions of work.
Yeah, I mean, you come here, you're going to become a devotee, man. You're going to know what that is because you're around people who know what that is. We know how to be absorbed in Krishna. We show you that we can do it. We show you the glory of it. We show you how wonderful it is here. Therefore, then you can know the path. The path is the devotee. When you see the devotee, you see the path. When you hear from the devotees, you hear the right directions of the path. When you see the ecstatic prema emanating from them, see, you see that's the life of the devotee. It makes you addicted to the transcendental form of God, bound to that Lord forever. You feel that happiness of being close to God. Oh, there's nothing like it. See? So that, like Maria, it's very interesting to have somebody like that around because she sees what's like that. I don't see, but I feel. I feel. I just look at the Lord and He's there. I feel Him. She sees it. She says, "Oh, yeah, take a walk with you." He goes right by your side. See, that's interesting. I mean, that to me is interesting to hear. That actually you got somebody
Yeah.
with the visuals about it.
It's very, very, but it's very amazing because I never used to see so much. Like I'm seeing a lot now. Like yesterday, seeing Barabapu, what was the name?
Prabhupada.
Barabapad, Barabapad, Barabapad. Yes, of course. And seeing Lord Chaitanya when we walk, he's always next to you. Like I even tried to trick him, and it didn't work. He
Didn't
goes
work.
to the other side. Like when I want to trick him, he goes to the other side. He will stay next to you either way. And the same happened when I started healing with Lalita and Adwaita came. And I don't know who these people are until I get that confirmation from you guys. Adwaita, she told me about St. Paul. Like Paul came for a long time and I could not get his name. He would not give it to me, and it took me like 2 weeks until Lalita told me, yes, it must be Saint Paul because he was like I said to Lalita, he's very close to Jesus. That's the only thing I could get as a sign. And then she told me yes. Then it must be Saint Paul. And then once I knew it was Saint Paul, they are so happy. It's like it's a puzzle. They want me to discover their names. They don't tell me.
Yeah.
Everyone that is with me, I know their names because of you or Lalita or Mary Sachi that told me about yesterday. She watched our video. She heard that I saw a bald guy with a darker skin, not dark, mid dark. And then she said, well, she sent me these statues of him. He looks like him exactly, but younger face. But
I
he's
know.
Yeah.
still bald. Yeah.
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 You see,
Makes sense. Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, there was a guy. who was a Christian, he had this gift. He would go and meditate, and he would go into the
Yeah.
heavens, and he would see the
Yeah.
saints and the angels. And
You
he
see
said,
everything. Yeah.
yeah, he said that often they wouldn't tell who they were because it's some kind of thing up there.
Yeah.
They
They
don't
don't
want
tell
to.
me. Yeah.
They
They don't
don't want to.
want
Yeah,
to.
they don't want to. They don't want us to. Um, for some reason, I forgot there was a reason they didn't do it, but he said,
Well,
so maybe
you
it's
see,
something like.
like when I knew about Jesus, and when the first time that Jesus came to me, it was a long time ago. I knew he was Jesus because everyone knows who is Jesus, right? But all the new ones, I had no idea about anyone. So I had to
Mhm.
describe them to you or to Lalita. And then you guys told me. And yesterday Mary Sachi discovered who this bald guy with a little bit darker skin was. Oh, of course. And once I know the name, they are very much present. Once I know the name, they come more. It's like something
You know,
very
it shows
strange.
you how it's a spiritual family. A lot of
Hey,
people lose sight of that here in this world. They see, oh, there's Jesus, he's the real God, and devote, and
well,
then they don't see that the Lord has servants appearing in
a
other
lot.
places, and then
The,
it's you're either just where you so, and that's not really right. It's not. It's like thy will be done on earth as it is in the spiritual world. So that's in the spiritual world. It's more like you're seeing is the devotees are there, and they're devotees. They love God, and they
yeah,
they commune with each other and associate and be friendly, and because they all everybody worships God. There is a God. Only here, there's all this kind of
yeah, all the
disconnection.
associations. It's amazing. So
And
I'm
what it
learning.
is? You know what it is? It's speculation. It's the speculation of Christians not having clear theology about how it works. But see, Lord Chaitanya came and he gave us all this knowledge how the Lord comes. He appears in every millennium in his transcendental form. He comes as Lord Chaitanya, he comes as Krishna, he's Radha, he comes as Lord Shiva, some different forms. Um, and they're all transcendental and they're all related. It's
Yeah,
part of the kingdom.
it's amazing. Like I'm learning. Like I don't want to know anything about anyone until I see the image. Then I will say, and someone will come up with the name. They will never tell you. They will stay with you. The image will stay. Like Advaita, it was only a couple of days until I learned it was Advaita because I saw it in the book and I said, this is the guy. And you told me, and then Lalita double checked it for me. But St. Paul was like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, and he would always come. And I was like, why are you not telling me your name? And they don't tell you. They don't tell you. You need to figure this out, or I don't know. They will stay quiet. It's amazing.
Yeah, St. Paul was like kind of like Nityananda. He was like that with Jesus, very close. I mean, so
Yeah,
close. Jesus
yeah.
came to him so many times, did many miracles too. Just amazing stuff.
You see,
Yeah.
Saint Paul, yeah, when I asked him, well, if you're not going to say your name, can you show me a sign? And then he showed me Jesus putting his hand down to grab Saint Paul's hand, and that's what I said to Lalita. And then she said, well, it is Saint Paul. It must be Saint Paul. And then
Mhm.
you see, they can give you signs, but they will not tell you the name. I knew Nityananda was Nityananda because I don't see an image, I see a white figure, but he's glued to Lord Chaitanya. And then I said to you, is Nityananda glued to Lord Chaitanya? And then you said yes, and then I knew it was Nityananda, but he is not showing a face. Nityananda is the only one that is not showing a face for some reason.
Yeah.
One day maybe.
Yeah. Yeah. All right,
Okay,
Lolita, go on. Go on.
my phone is dying, so I'm gonna get off the video. I'm gonna still here, but I'm gonna get off. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
No, thank you.
All deliberate souls in ancient times, they acted with this understanding of my transcendental nature. Therefore, you should perform your duty, following in their footsteps.
Yeah, read that again, the whole thing. It's so beautiful there.
Yeah, all the liberated souls in ancient times, they acted with this understanding.
Yeah, you see, they're acting with that understanding. What does that mean? Well, they're acting in action. What is their actions? They chant the holy name in ecstasy. You know, they commune with God. They teach that to the world. It is the most important subject you ever learn. You know, it's the transcendental science that Krishna says. Oh, this science, this supreme science of the relationship of the soul with the supreme soul. You know, who's teaching that to such clarity? You know, that's so when we that's so the ultimately is to act according to that transcendental nature, and Lord Chaitanya took it to the extreme to show the extreme relationship of the conjugal, this gopi bhav, and that's happening here again. I mean, there are a lot of gopi types here, and showing that kind of worship. And that's how people will, if you're looking for that, that's where you're going to see it. See people, those who appreciate like Lolita's chanting, or Johan's chanting, then you can also become like that. So if we were not the body, why we want to hold on to it so desperately? Well, actually, when you get more connected to the spiritual body, you want to hold on to that more desperately, and you can't. It's like why would you hold on to two things? Devotees, just desperately want to hold on, which is a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's a great transcendental attribute of wanting to desperately hold on to the spiritual form of the Lord. See, then you transcend. You won't be so desperate to hold on to the material form. So if you say, why do you do it? Well, it's because you need to increase your attraction to the spiritual form of the Lord, and then automatically you become less desperate to hold on to your material form. You just more like, well, if it's here, I'll just try to take care of the body and use it for preaching. And you know, how do I get rid of being irritated? Irritated about what?
Will continue for a while.
Huh?
That will continue for a while. It's purification.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Go ahead, Lily. Tell a little bit more. One
Yeah,
more verse, and then I gotta go.
yeah. Uh,
Go sleep.
yeah, I go sleep then as well. Therefore, you should perform your duty following in their footsteps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and you see, the Lord made it easy now. See, this is 5,000 years ago, and only some kind of regulative type thing, do your duty and all this. See, now, so the Lord came to show this amazing duty to chant the holy name in ecstatic love. See, you should perform that duty, following in His footsteps. That's why I said everybody should come here. If you want to chant the holy name in ecstasy and so follow the duty on the ecstatic platform, it'd be great, wouldn't it? Or do you think just jumping around up and down like a monkey, externally, just everybody's jumping, I jump, and they're excited, I get excited instead of relishing these mellows, see, and following in the footsteps of Lord Chaitanya. Because devotees are here. We do like that. We're able to relish these things. Yeah. I just hate feeling like I can't control my, yeah. But again, Cole, if the like as you're coming back more and getting more taste and all this, you'll become more tolerant automatically. But because you've been away and associating with the mundane, then these energies, see the modes of nature act in you more. Here, it become more neutralized, the modes of nature, and you'll become more tolerant automatically. So you don't have to worry about it. Just come regularly. Yeah. Okay, I think that's enough. I got to go now. Hare Krishna, everybody. Thank you, Lalita, for reading. Great
Thank
reading.
you very much. Yeah, I haven't seen your video. This I was in the train. I start looking at it, but then I had no more internet. But
What
obviously, I
today?
didn't miss anything. The one of
Oh,
this
this
morning.
this morning's video. Yeah, I
I
deleted
don't.
it. It was too much drama going on in it.
Yeah, I don't have to cry for it then.
Yeah, too much drama. See you later.